pushed all the way down towards Hell. It's a good position to have this early in the round. Bit going for a peek in the hallways.
Bomb.
That's a great kill to find because, as you said, Jason, the bomb is picked off the back of the pack. And the rest of Flyquest, well, they're eradicated. They're gone.
Yeah, they've all died outside so quickly that the round just feels like it fell flat. Nothing really to do. Try and recover this bomb. This is the one kill. Now you know it's a crossfire. Good kill. There's one out towards upper, and Bit's got a new position.
JKS still trying to fight out Bit behind this box. Bit not giving him the shot until that peek comes in, and then he'll give him the shot right between the eyes. And we got Train coming up. This is the map that Flyquest played in the opening game of Stage 1. They defeated Legacy 13-10 on it, but we heard Ted talking about the fact that Flyquest had to come back into it and Legacy couldn't close. I think they're still going to be happy enough with getting Train here, and I heard even Alexi in that pre-game interview or pre-game media piece, he was talking about how Flyquest do have a decent map pool. They've got a lot of maps they can go to, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, it's been since, you know, it really feels like Flyquest has settled into a style and identity ever since Ozzo stepped in behind them as the coach, a legend of the scene of the region in Counter-Strike, and major player himself. Brings over as coach. He's been there for about a month, but it looks like Flyquest has been on the right track since then. So this match felt like it had an upset potential to it. I know Des didn't kind of lay it out that way. They were very, very confident in NAVI. But Flyquest, with the way they've been performing and as the team coming from Stage 1, yeah, it feels like there's a potential here that they could actually rattle NAVI early on.
But I think as Counter-Strike fans in general, though, I think it would be good to see NAVI just come into a tournament like this and actually show some form, because I think CS is just better when NAVI's playing well. And unfortunately, the recent months, they just haven't been playing very well.
Well, that was 2024, the best team in the world, NAVI, across the entirety of the year. Just an incredible performance from that lineup, but at the start of 2025, it was clear that that lineup was going to blow up. So, yeah, the recovery has been long and labored from NAVI with this new lineup, with new players in, bringing in Makaze, promoting him into position. And now we get to see what all that hard work has been for. Blade himself at interviews has pointed at this major as the deciding point for what this team can do. So NAVI coming into this have high expectations.
You know, we're speaking to Makazi. We did hear Ima give an interview with HL TV ahead of this event. He was saying that between him and Makazi, they've been trying to figure out a balance between the two of them. You know, if he's being aggressive on one side of the map, then Ima can't be. And I think he was just saying that Makazi needs to learn how to hit the brakes sometime.
Yeah, he said he's getting there. He said it's coming slowly but surely.
Well, Ima aggressive with Makazi in this round. They're going to be pushing up in towards Pop Dog. A great position to have this early in the round, and no one from Flyquest coming to address it just yet.
He's been
shot holding.
Yeah, Flyquest know the possibility, but it's a trap here with Bit. So Molotov going to keep half of it at bay, and with that Molotov, Bit just backs away. Knows it'd be an isolated fight if Flyquest move forward.
Mins. Getting spotted, shoulder around the corner, and as soon as they bite down on that Pop Dog peak, you can see how quick Bit flies up the ramp. I like this from NAVI so far.
Yeah, a little tentative from Flyquest. I mean, they stepped in and controlled the position, but not super motivated to really clear it out. Just kind of hanging out and waiting and giving NAVI time to make the call.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like Bit's pretty locked in right now, Jason. He's not missing a beat. He's very quick to these kills. He's not making any mistakes, even in the mechanical department. He's looking very sharp to kick things off.
Yeah, that did seem very comfortable and backing away when the Molotov came in and coming right back into the fight when it clears. I mean, if you're Flyquest, you come into this with a game plan. You have like your pistol round decided. You have your first gun round decided. You basically have your first 3 or 4 rounds of how you want to play kind of figured out as a team. And you get destroyed on the pistol round, and now you get destroyed in this first gun round. So start feeling a lack of confidence potentially in the game plan and see if maybe they'll adjust things early on. It's going to be 3-0 for NAVI. 20 more seconds in this save as Vexite and Edic just say, there's nothing we can do here in a 2 versus 5.
Well, Flyquest has shown an ability to come back into the games. We talked about that with Legacy, and I don't get too worried about them based on the slow start and imagine they're eventually going to get into it. But for NAVI, it's great to see them come in and start swinging straight away, because conversation throughout the early stages of today has been the Stage 1 teams are going to come in warmed up, ready to go. Can they catch those teams starting in Stage 2 sleeping?
I think Flyquest has to be a little bit careful too. If they try and play like too much of a tactical and strategic game against NAVI, like that's playing in NAVI's wheelhouse. You have, you know, a coach that a lot of people consider the greatest of all time in Blade for what he's been able to accomplish and do, and obviously the reputation he has as a tactician. That's exactly what NAVI would love, was have you play like a standard strategic game. If you're Flyquest, you're going to have a few rounds where you really just kind of win by muscle, by strength.
Ima Hunting down Nedic, catching him out towards Olaf. It's going to be a great opening kill here for NAVI. Looking to be followed up upon Vexite, who just waits in towards T-Con. There's nothing to be had here for Flyquest in the early goings.
No, they haven't been able to get into anything whatsoever. It's like, here's the first step. You get Nedic put out towards the box and lurking out of Team Main, but, you know, NAVI just shuts it down with aggression after the fact. And that's the 2 rifles, and that can no longer be recovered as well. So Flyquest with just Tech 9s and a Deagle on Regali on the back foot really, really early on. It's an attitude they're bringing in NAVI.
Yeah, I like it so far. It's been great to see. I mean, Maui brings a great point as well on the desk. Is like, name a couple of teams that are above NAVI. There's very few of them in this stage of the competition.
I just think the hardest thing to judge is just the amount of time it's been since we've seen them play, and their last matches having been so rough. 2-1 loss to Heroic, 2-1 loss to Astralis. Not exactly world beaters themselves.
Yeah, it's that taste that is left in your mouth after watching something like that. And you said they were going to come and play better Counter-Strike than they did in China. I think it'd be, by NAVI standard, hard to play worse. And so far, so good in the first couple of rounds of play here.
Okay, well, they have picked up one of the AK-47s. That's in the hand of Regali. They've let all the utility and Molotovs subside. All the smokes fade away. Good kill from Makaze. He's sharp. Swinging out wide. Makaze's got another one, and Ema cleans it up. No issues from NAVI early on. A very deadly combination of aggressive openings to ruin the plans of Flyquest, and then backing off into really solid passive setups.
The opening kill from Imma, applying pressure towards T-Main, spotting out that Olaf push forward. Mikaze was sort of backup as well. He was over towards the Pop Dog side. And that Imma-Mikaze combo proving quite difficult to get past outside at the moment. So taking a timeout straight away here as they're wanting to get on the mic ahead of this round. And there's not going to be enough to get a great buyout because they're not getting bomb plants here for Flyquest. So it hasn't tipped them over to the next level where they can afford a full purchase. Might be another scenario where we have a couple of upgraded pistols, some Kevlar sprinkled in. Let's see if Flyquest can start bruising NAVI, because that money is starting to look really nice over on the CT side. We'll get to the point where Flyquest are going to have to deal with a mountain of cash. Going to mine their way through it. Tech 9s and a Galil. That's what Flyquest have to play. And Mikaze just aggressive. You spoke of attitude. Mikaze's not giving them a chance. Emma's right beside them. Bombs down. NAVI dominating the boys today.
There's a line on that choke point that Flyquest is not allowed to cross. Mikaze was so prepared for that. Setting up in a counter flash, staring into the wall, and as soon as it pops, he's pre-fired swing and triple kill spray down coming through the smoke. Absolutely no chance for Flyquest. This is a suffocating start to train. Quickly and efficiently, NAVI is up to 5-0.
And they're having a good time as well, just chuckling their way through this. Here comes the buyback again from Flyquest. They get nowhere. They are not able to get out of the choke points at this point for Flyquest. Can anybody hit out at this defense? You've got Wonderful pinned up in the box halls. It's AWP ready to go. It's Bit also ready to strike out through ramp.
I love this call from NAVI as well. After you've just wrecked him and teammate in 2 rounds in a row. Okay, well, they're going to try something else at least to open up the round. Let's set up the op. Let's set up Bit with him on the ramp, and let's be prepared for an inner attack.
There's Alexi holding on. Vexite goes down by the wayside, and another round where Vexite gets nothing. And you were just mentioning how he was one of the best players of the last stage, and obviously Flyquest need him to show up here if you're going to be able to compete against NAVI, but there's just no options for Flyquest. There's no fragging output. They've had 3 kills.
I mean, this is the devastating thing for Flyquest is, I mean, NAVI has just knocked them off their game so fast at the start of train in the first 3-4 rounds. You have Vexite, I think, trying to force too much over towards Ivy with that Molotov down, kind of swinging into it, hesitating of whether he wanted to move forward and fight or fall back and play it safe, and just kind of gets caught in limbo. And now you have 2 players trying to force their way through smokes in towards the box halls. I mean, Flyquest haven't even gotten clean looks. I don't even think they got very many of them on the pistol round either.
Yeah, I mean, 3 kills. Round 6 is about the end, Jason.
Yeah, that's a good point. 3 kills in 6 rounds is, ooh.
Mikaze peeking out, another one added to his collection. Jumps with the USP out, Regali at least taking that.
And you can save the op, and that's all you can do.
You don't want to lose it, that's for sure. So he gets into the start of the smoke and no scope through it. So absolutely no mercy from NAVI today against Flyquest. Well, not looking like Flyquest are going to ride the high out of their 3-0 qualification into stage 2. Now, Maui brought up a great point as well. The fact that Flyquest, yes, went 3-0, impressive regardless, but they did play against all Brazilian teams. This is their first time they're playing against a squad on the European side of competition. And I think you're seeing that they're just kind of outmatched at the moment.
Yeah, well, the major rookie, Makaze for NAVI, is having a spectacular start to this. 7 kills, 2 deaths, but he's been the point man on that dominant mid-presence that hasn't allowed Flyquest access to the outer yard. Tech9s. NAVI knowing the economic situation, one of the rare rounds where they haven't had any kind of aggression, and now it's an issue. Tech9 swinging wide, but Bit, oh, that is lovely.
Yeah, he's gonna feel good about that. That's a great round for NAVI to collect again. Another shutdown. Flyquest nowhere to be seen.
This is happening quick.
It is. It feels like this.
Smoke might be seeing a few things coming out T-mid. Maybe another player like Netic.
Armando, that first CS2 major.
Out in Copenhagen. NAVI shocking the world with an upset win after upset win into lifting the trophy.
Hey, this would be another shocking major if they're able to pull it off here. Emma, great start. JKS, the victim.
Okay, so if you're Flyquest and you're assessing the situation, you've never been able to get access of box hulls, of brown hulls, towards the inner bomb site. You've never been able to get access of Pop Dog. You've never been able to get access of Team Main. You're not even able to play the map yet.
And then you're having to start this round in a really slow, drawn-out 4v5. And whatever plan A was, it's out the window immediately. JKS has died.
And with that opening kill towards Pop Dog, Makaze can just safely jiggle peek into it. Wonderful has the op angle in towards T-mid. They don't have to burn any utility at this moment. They can wait until they can react with the utility. Flyquest reconvenes towards the inner bomb site. One player left back to throw some utility and cause distraction nades outside. Maybe try and just keep a defender here. It's not going to pull anyone away with NAVI having a man advantage. But keeping someone outside for a few extra seconds might be a nice thing to have.
Good pick here from Regali. It's at least one going back either way. Flyquest, 20 seconds though. They've got to get into B. There's still 2 players
There's
here.
no time.
They've got to go back towards Pot Dog, and yeah, they're fizzling out of time already. 15 seconds, still charging, still giving it a good go. But look who's waiting for them. It's Wonderful on the orb, ready to strike them down. The smokes are up for the time being, but Alexi and Wonderful now chiming in together. That bomb plant isn't happening, and the round certainly isn't. It's 8 rounds in a row for NAVI.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been, again, it's because they're able to hold on to that utility with those deep angles I was mentioning in Pop Dog and Team Main. Makaze has that follow-up smoke. The jump from Bit might seem a little bit silly, but he's happy to take that risk because Makaze had just shifted over. So he knows he's already got backup there, and then the smoke falls, and then Flyquest is put into a near impossible decision they have to make, which is head back to the outer bomb yard with 20 seconds on the clock. NAVI not letting Flyquest even get into this game whatsoever.
Yeah, 4 rounds of play left in the half. Faster from Flyquest towards Ivy. We got Wonderful. Just waiting. Gonna back away on that missed shot. Allow Alexi B to take the next contact, and Alexi B will be successful in grabbing the kill. Wonderful drop a nade, trying to slow down Flyquest further.
Happy to let them have that control. Good luck. We don't care that you're here. Emo and Makaze close up towards T-mid. Back to back, watching both choke points. Wonderful with an op looking towards camera. And there's really not any point on this map where there's danger for NAVI.
Peek from Ema. And then grenade will go around the back. Oh. Ema and actually not catch him. It actually went into the start of the box. They really can't catch a break, even if like that isn't working for Flyquest.
Absolutely nothing's going right for Flyquest. Yeah. There's the timeout called. Alzer wants to get involved in the conversation. Tough task for Alzer. We've mentioned he'd been at plenty of majors. Semifinals of the Starladder Berlin Major, quarterfinals at the Katowice 2019 Major. His first major now as a coach, standing behind the Australian squad. Second timeout burned, and he's staring at a 0-9 deficit, and he's going to be the one all five turn to for the solution.
What a difficult task it is, and you can see Blade incredibly vocal right now using this timeout. His teammates are up 9-0 and still has something to say here in the timeout.
Yeah, for Blade, he's like, this is great.
And still has something to say here in the timeout.
Yeah, for Blade, he's everyone to this position, and now that they're performing within the system that him and Alexi work together to create, Blade gets to sit back and relax and enjoy the frag movie. 9-0. NAVI just putting Flyquest in their place. A 3-0 team from stage one having no chance in this match. Eight kills going into round 10 for Flyquest total.
Makazi sending some armor shots to the smoke. Nothing connecting too effectively. We've got Ima coming out on top. Finally, it is a little bit of life in Flyquest, though, as Inns and Vexite taking a couple of frags. They are actually in a position where they held the advantage for a moment, but Bit's drawn that right back to a 3v3. Here's the flank from Wonderful. Round the side, and Pop pulls out the 5-7. Flyquest can't catch a break, and the only thing breaking are their bones and the bullets of Na'Vi. It's Regali left in a clutch ahead of him. 1v3. He's got himself the first and just couldn't capitalize on Bit. Finished off as Na'Vi continue to rack up a flawless CT side scoreline.
Navi's playing some beautiful Counter-Strike right now. I mean, just look at the way that Bit's rotating around the bomb, trying to maintain aggression, but also join up with Makaze, who's coming from Pop to ensure a double peek. Just making sure that nobody's going to give over an isolated fight and let that be a 1v1. It's one of the few rounds that Flyquest actually had something working for them in terms of calling a fast mid play and not having Navi's aggressive mid defense in place. They had all the room on the map they wanted to work for. But the flank from Wonderful is timed so well and so effective.
Well, at least Na'Vi giving Flyquest the space to play with in a round like this. They aren't throwing aggressive traps at them. They aren't taking the first fights. Na'Vi sitting back. You got Wonderful upper.
It's kind of a luxury in one sense that Flyquest is at the 1 minute mark with 5 players alive.
Yeah, it's true. It's different, but it does feel like that first fight, if JKS is to peek into Wonderful, the Albert looking locked in. Here come Flyquest for a B hit. All 5 players going to be trying to funnel into the defense here against Wonderful and Bit. If Wonderful misses the shot, then that's the opening for Flyquest to get in. But he's actually going aggressive, and he takes that fight against JKS, and he gets away. He goes back in for a peek again, and Wonderful, I don't know how, but he's still standing. Bit's come to help him. Ima showing up, and we've got Regali left with nothing to do. He gets 1 pick at least to prevent the clean sheet, but no one is a weakness right now for Na'Vi.
No, I mean, there's just layers to the rotation, to the protocols to defend against these hits, and nothing. Flyquest hasn't been able to get anything done to make this game difficult for Na'Vi, right? They haven't had to even break out of kind of just the basic fundamental Counter-Strike that they play. Hasn't had to be anything too unusual, too creative. Good cover. Everything on this map has been closed to Flyquest.
Well, we're all thinking it, Jason. Could this be?
Don't say it.
That
Don't
scoreline?
you dare say it. Don't even think it.
Well, too late. I think everyone's thinking it at this point.
It's looking very likely, isn't it? Regali going to start walking up Ivy right now behind the smoke. The cover of smoke giving him a little bit of space to work with. But again, the deep angle with the AWP in towards team main allows Navi to keep a little bit of utility in reserve. Molotov to set up Makaze, stepping into team mid. And that is Vexite setting up utility for his Ivy players. Makaze is going to call that out. He was looking towards Ivy. And now Alexi knows exactly what's happening on the map. And there's a dink onto the bomb carrier of Netic.
Netic. Good pick and Regali to make sure it's a quick follow-up as well onto Alexi B. Could this be Flyquest's first round of train? The bomb is going down. It's been a, I don't remember ever saying that, to be honest. Here goes Netic. Gonna be looking towards the camera. Here comes Bittman on the backside. 2 headshots lined up just like that for him, and the machine will feast. It's now JKS 1v3 to prevent a 12-0 half going against Flyquest. The utility dumping at his feet, a smoke and flash going out.
Not planted for him.
The defuse is being stuck around the corner, and NAVI will confirm it. A 12-0 lead. They had a 10-day boot camp heading into the major. They felt more confident. Well, they are riding a high here in stage 2. Flyquest down 0-12. It is NAVI coming into the major. Loving life, Jason. They're having a grand old time. Welcome back to the pistol round.
15 kills total for Flyquest in that first half across 12 rounds of play. Now, can NAVI do it? T-side pistol round is live. And what are we going to call to try and get that ever-elusive 13-0 scoreline? Everyone towards the inner bomb site. Aggression from Flyquest defense pushing towards Ivy, clearing things out. So that's going to cause the rotation from the outer yard to come in. 3 players will be here. But can they stop NAVI? Taking their time with this hit. Not even realizing that Flyquest has all the information, that they're starting to walk into position for a trap. They need some clean entrances into this B hit.
On the charge out, it's going to be JKS with the first kill. Backside following up. Flyquest with a 2-man advantage. Still going is JKS. Still not down as Wonderful gets ever closer to the oil train. That bomb plant finally being secured here for NAVI. Can Wonderful and Alexi B close out a 13-0? And now it all falls to Wonderful. That responsibility, and he won't. Regali keeps play going for a little bit longer, and Flyquest, a little bit of relief, Jason. It won't be the 13-0.
It may not seem like much, but that's awesome for Flyquest.
Now the comeback.
Yeah, now we're underway, and right where they want them. So miss out on delivering the first flawless victory here at the Budapest Major. All due to the information gathered by Flyquest. The early push in towards Ivy allowed them to cheat the rotation over.
Blade will be having stern words with him tonight about that one, Jason.
Yeah, tough round to win if you're NAVI. play chasing perfection.
Yeah, of course. All right, 2 Deeks here. We've got Wonderful Makazi bringing them out, and everybody else just hanging out on the default weapon. Flyquest should get a second without issue here.
Yeah, even with the bomb plan, I think with the scoreline, they're just like, let's maximize gun rounds. Like, we don't have to go for this force here. We don't have to win it whatsoever.
No, I think just with the way Flyquest,
What
we've got the 3-0 result in stage 1 of the competition, Jason. I was someone that thought this was possible, to be honest, coming into today. Just with the way NAVI have been playing at recent tournaments and the way Flyquest are playing. And I think for Flyquest as well, it's important to put into context just where they have been throughout this season. It hasn't been great results for Flyquest. They just brought JKS in. It didn't seem like it clicked immediately as well with JKS coming back and just trying to figure out, how he's going to fit into this team and this roster moving forward. Just trying to figure out. Brought JKS in. It didn't seem like it clicked immediately as well with JKS coming back and just trying to figure out, how is obviously not a start they'll want to remember.
Flyquest also have a secondary goal throughout this major due to those rough performances that you mentioned as this lineup came together. Been starting to drift down that BRS invite bubble as well.
Right.
So obviously wanting focus is 100% on the major, but along the way they'd like to rack up some good wins to keep them receiving those invites to be in Europe, to play at the biggest events against the best teams and improve by gaining that experience over and over. Awkward moment there for Vexite and Makaze. Improve to be in Europe, to play at the biggest events against the best teams and improve by gaining that experience over and over. Awkward moment there for Vexite and Makaze. Easy to laugh about when you're up 12-2. But now the rifles come in, the AK-47s for Navi's attack, and we get to see the first gun rounds.
The first and potentially the last here on Train. Let's see what Navi have up their sleeve. They got Bit to his feet looking fantastic. Should have waited the first opening kill. JKS was there. They had a double push on the ramp. We'll see if Navi decides to respond quickly based on that info. And they're held behind nades, so the answer to that is no.
I think Navi's going to be okay with that. Going 1-for-1 on the T side of Train. You want to start exploiting those gaps, and you want to start forcing some movement and force this defense to make a decision of where they want to allocate their resources. So now you throw a little bit of extra utility outside. 3 players for Flyquest looking like they're about to execute a mid-round piece of aggression into team main. Vexite's going to step right through that. Says found the timing, finds the information, but still 3 defenders out here. And that kill is going to force Navi to pick up the pace.
JKS, sharp shooting onto Alexi V, goes back again, this time railed by Wonderful. Oh, another headshot from Wonderful. The AWPer doing it on the AK-47. We've got Imma moving up into the back lines.
I like this scaling. Going to be a tough fight, though.
Yeah, Regali now peeks in towards him. Imma's got that kill, and now it falls to Vexite. A 13-2 win queued up
They
here
think
for
he's on the flank, though. They think he's on the flank because they haven't seen him yet.
Now they're getting in the shadow. It's going to be a kill for Vexite. Now they know where he is. Can Wonderful close this out with a 3K?
He's got a kit.
A 13-2. He hides in behind Oil Train. Searching for him, Wonderful. He's going to wait, just biding his time. That defuse, it's the full stick. He's going to hold it. Then Wonderful will close it out. It is Navi have come to Budapest hoping for some confidence in their opening game. And well, they have got bucket loads of it. A 13-2 win over Flyquest.
Yeah, a lot of eyes peeled looking at this Navi performance of what they were going to look like with the extended time off from officials after a disastrous run at IM Chengdu. But they've said the boot camp went well. They've said they're here and they're feeling good and they're ready to play and everything's falling into place. And that's a really good indication for Flyquest. All that momentum you built up going 3-0 in the opening stage disappears.
They aren't throwing aggressive.
Taking their time with this hit.
It was possible, to be honest, coming into today, just with the way NAVI have been. Get a second without issue here.
Yeah, even with the bomb plan, I think with the scoreline, they're just like, let's maximize gun rounds. Like, we don't have to go for this force here. We don't have to win it whatsoever.
No, I think just with the way Flyquest, we've got the 3-0 result in stage.
Like, we don't have to go for this force here. We don't have to win it whatsoever.
No, I think just with the way Flyquest, we've got the 3-0 result in stage 1 of the competition, Jason. I was someone that thought this was possible, to be honest, coming into today, just with the way NAVI have been playing at recent tournaments and the way Flyquest are playing. And I think for Flyquest as well, it's important to put into context just where they have been throughout this season. It hasn't been great results for Flyquest. They just brought JKS in. It didn't seem like it clicked immediately as well with JKS coming back and just trying to figure out, stage 1 into stage 2 is already a big result for them. And we'll see how much damage they can do at this stage.
3-0 in the opening stage disappears. You just got flattened. You just got embarrassed on the stage. And now they're going to have a conversation and recover later on today.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the team that come through 3-0 out of stage 1, but
Santerra's, he's been there with critical moments, but hasn't really been called on to win rounds as much. Lake will find another one, and these are pretty separated pieces, I think, of Aurora. So Lake is stuck down here for a second. Swisher's trying to come help out in case he needs to be bailed out of this spot. Opper from Suicide.
Uh-oh, careful.
Ooh, takes a nade out at the worst possible timing. Good on Swisher to flank that, and they know Madger's already up here because of his util, so there is still more gas in the tank for M80. Good on Lake to force the issue onto the bomb carrier, take control of this one, and secure a 6th.
We got the moment of truth over on the A stream.
Counter-terrorists win.
3 off the first stage, man. You just don't know.
Just don't know.
Both 3-0 teams right now.
Yep.
Getting shown the top level. Oh, but it looks like the comeback might be in effect for Flyquest.
That's why you need 2 monitors, folks. But don't sleep on M80 here with us. Pulls back under.
Played so good.
I just eat some strawberry bars, protein bars.
Okay, Vicaria, that was an incredible match from your team. Can you break it down from your POV how it was to play the first best of 1 today?
It was first we struggled a bit because we lost the pistol also force, but I think we managed to come back good.